Hello students, we are going to start chemical bonding today. What is chemical bond or chemical bonding? Before going to entering into its details, first of all, we need to talk about its definition. See here, what is chemical bond? The attractive force which holds atoms together to form a stable entity. The word entity refers to either it may be molecule or ion. Is called chemical bond. Is called chemical bond. Now see here, what is meant by chemical bond? Just now I have written the definition. So the attractive force which holds the atoms together to form a stable entity is called chemical bond. So why bond has to form here? So before going to understand this definition, I am going to talk about some behavior of materials. So generally the materials are having behavior. So that is, materials are generally made up of atoms and molecules. So therefore, atoms and molecules, whatever the behavior they are having, materials are also having, or vice versa. Now according to material system, some great phenomenon of materials I am going to tell you here. Based on that, we are going to understand the concept of chemical bonding. Now that is, the materials have material systems have the tendency or here according to material systems or materials. So materials are having some certain behavior. That behavior we are going to learn here. So this material behavior I am making into two cases. That is case number one. That is, suppose if materials are having more energy means definitely which are more reactive. So more reactive means, what does it mean here? If any material which are having more energy means which are more active, or more active is nothing but they are more reactive in nature. If they are more reactive in nature means definitely they are less stable or unstable. See here, they are less stable or unstable. Now case number 2, let us describe here. Case number 2, if the materials are having less energy, then which are less reactive. So less reactive means which will become more stable. See here, what I am saying here, actually according to material system means materials are having some kind of or certain behavior they are having. Each and every material is made up of atoms and molecules only. So whatever the behavior which is shown by materials, the same behavior will be shown by even atoms and molecules also. Now see here, why I have discussed about this case 1, case 2 material behavior, because the same kind of phenomenon, same kind of behavior will be shown by atoms also. See here, let us talk about case 1. Suppose if any material or any system in nature which is having suppose more energy. So more energy means definitely which are more active in nature, more active in the sense which are more reactive in nature. More reactive means what about their stability means they are having less stable or unstable. Suppose this phenomenon I will replicate to the human beings also. Suppose one student is there. Suppose if one student is having, suppose this, so he is a student, suppose the student had some food or mini snacks he had. After taking some snacks, the student, what happened here, his energy levels will be increasing here. As his energy levels are increasing, automatically its activity or its reactivity also increases here. Because if the student consuming any kind of food, his energy levels increasing means, which leads to its activity increases or reactivity also increases. Indirectly, he cannot be confined to any particular place. He will be jumping, he is walking, he is running. So different kinds of activity he will be doing. So he will be in motion indirectly. So whenever he is in motion means, which refers to he is unstable. What is meant by stable state? Stable state refers to the state where the person or anything which does not move. So does not move means like a rock if you take here, or if you take any like a constructed building if you take, does it move anywhere? So it doesn't move anywhere. So such a state is known as stable state. Now see here, this is the phenomenon will be. So we can see in case of materials also we can observe. Now let us talk about less energy system also. Suppose less energy system means, in order to understand this system, I am taking one example. Suppose here, this is one cot. On this cot, one patient is sleeping. Suppose patient in the sense, this person got some fever. So when he got fever means, then suppose he did not take any kind of food for 3 days. For 3 days he did not take any kind of food means what happened, which leads to his energy levels, what happened here, decreases. Why this patient or this person energy levels decreases means, due to he got some fever. When he got fever, up to 3 days he did not take any kind of food. He did not take any kind of food means his energy levels, what happened here, decreased here. Energy levels decrease means here his reactivity also decreases. Okay, because he is not moving anywhere, so his reactivity also decreases. Suppose anybody, suppose if anybody will do against him also, he cannot respond at all. That means his activity will become less reactive. Suppose one of his friends slap him, just imagine, this kind of scenario may not happen, but if any one of his friends slap him means, does he slap against his friend? Impossible, because he is having less energy. Less energy means he is more stable. More stable refers to this person or patient bedridden here. He doesn't want to move anywhere here. Such a state is known as stable state. Why I am saying here all these case 1 and case 2 means, each and every system in the nature, so each and every material is having the behavior, it try to acquire the more stable state. Try to acquire more stable state. See here, this is very important here. So it is acquiring more stable state, then only material will be existed. If more stability is not there means material cannot existing at all. So therefore this, whatever the behavior we have spoken regarding material, the materials are generally made up of atoms and molecules. Suppose let us assume here this is one material in the sense, suppose I have taken, this is sodium metal I have taken here. So sodium metal is nothing but it is a element. It is completely made up of sodium atoms over here. Sodium atoms, here also sodium atom. It is completely made up of sodium atom only. So after forming this is sodium metal means, it is in this sodium metal completely, it is sodium atoms will be repeated multiple times, which gives the one material. So from this we understand, whatever the materials are having behavior, the same behavior will be shown by atoms and molecules also, since materials are made up of elements, so are atoms. So therefore that is the reason here. Now the same concept I will replicate to the atoms also. See here. Suppose I am taking one atom. Suppose let us take certain atoms here. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine. In atomic form, all the atoms, suppose all the atoms in their atomic form, these are having more energy. So atomic form, all the atoms in their atomic form, these are having what? Tell me here. So all these are having more energy. More energy means I told you here, CF. So more energy means these are all the atoms in their atomic form. These are having more energy. More energy means more reactive. More reactive means what? Less stable. But in the nature, each and every system, each and every material try to acquire more stable state, but not less stable state or unstable state. So therefore, what happens here? So each and every system try to acquire the even suppose try to acquire the more stable state. If at all any material is unstable, this try to converting into more stable state. Try to converting into more stable state. What is the criteria? Try to converting into more stable state. So if any system try to acquire more stable state, what is the criteria here? Less energy. Okay. Suppose all the atoms are having what is the energy? More energy. More energy means they are less stable. But if you want to get the more stable state means what is the criteria? Less energy. So less energy means this whatever the atoms are having more energy, from this some amount of energy must be evolving here, then only this more energy will be converting into less energy. More energy converts into less energy. If atoms or any system converts into less energy system, that is going to have the less energy. Less energy means more stable. In this manner, each and every system, each and every atom try to acquire the more stability. So in this manner, the atoms are going to the same scenario will be happen in case of atoms also. Why it is happening means this is the reason here why atoms has to combine. Why? What is the need to combine the atoms each other? If atoms do not combine means then what happens? Means this is the reason here. So in order to get the more stability, so they should possess less energy, but basically atoms are having more energy. More energy means unstable. So during the process of less stable atoms converting into more stable atoms, their more energy should be converting into less energy. So during this process only, which process? During this process means in combining process. Whenever these hydrogen or oxygen or nitrogen or fluorine, whatever the atoms are here, whenever they are going to combine each other during the process, these are going to release some amount of energy. Then these are going to get the stability. So let us take one example here. Suppose hydrogen I am taking. This is one hydrogen atom. Its atomic number 1. Its electronic configuration 1s1. Now here one more hydrogen atom, this one. Here its atomic number also same. Here it is having 1s1. Now see here I am writing. Here it is having nucleus at the exactly center. Here is also having its center. Nucleus will be here. Now see here 1s1 stands for atomic number, refers to here it is having equal number of electrons. In case of neutral atom, atomic number stands for actually number of protons only. But in this, since it is a neutral atom, here it is having equal number of electrons as well as equal number of protons. Atomic number 1 means one proton is there as well as one electron is there. So here also one electron it is having. Now what I told you here, see here, now all these atoms are having more energy. More energy means what happens here? They will be more reactive. More reactive means unstable. Unstable means they are in motion. They are in motion means suppose these two atoms. Let us assume here these two chalk pieces are two atoms. So due to their more energy, these will be in continuously one place to another place. They are continuously moving here everywhere. So at a certain particular point of time, so here what happened? So these two hydrogen atoms what happened? They're close to each other here. So close to approach each other. So during this approach what happened? This nucleus, this hydrogen atom nucleus will attract this hydrogen atom electron here because unlike charges attract here. Now, so this hydrogen atom nucleus will attract this hydrogen atom electron here. Okay. Now see here, how many attractive forces are here? Electron, nucleus. This hydrogen atom nucleus, this hydrogen atom electron, this hydrogen atom nucleus. So both will be approaching here. They will form the. Now in this process, what happens here? Now this hydrogen atom nucleus will attract this hydrogen atom electron, and this hydrogen atom electron will be attracted by this hydrogen atom nucleus, because unlike charges attract here minus charge plus charge, here minus charge plus charge. Unlike charges attract here, therefore, so due to its attraction, both atoms will come close to each other. This hydrogen atom nucleus will attract this hydrogen atom valency electron in this direction. Now, this hydrogen atom valency electron will be attracted by this hydrogen atom nucleus, because unlike charges attract here, because here minus, here plus, here minus, here plus, unlike charges attract here, wherever the point charges are present, there is a existence of Coulombic force or electrostatic force. Now see here, electrostatic forces are again two types are there, as we know that. Suppose unlike charges are present over here, electrostatic force of attraction is present. Here if like charges are present over here, electrostatic repulsions are present over. Now see here, in this hydrogen atom valence electron is attracted by this hydrogen atom nucleus. This hydrogen atom valence electron is attracted by this hydrogen atom nucleus. Now wherever the point charges are present, there is a existence of electrostatic force. If the charges are unlike, electrostatic attractive force is present. If the charges are like, there is the existence of electrostatic repulsive force. Now see here, let us talk about in this due to this atom will be attracting this valence electron, means so with F bar force, suppose as a result of this atom will be moving in this direction some S bar displacement. Okay, now that is F into S bar, which gives work done. According to fundamental laws of physics, if any atom or if any system which is doing some work, means definitely which will be losing some amount of energy here. So therefore, in this manner, this hydrogen atom is losing some amount of energy. In a similar fashion, here also this hydrogen atom, what is doing here? So this electron is attracted by this nucleus, because here electron is having negative charge, this is having, nucleus is having positive charge. Unlike charge is what happened here? Attract here. So therefore, this atom is exerting some force. Which force? Electrostatic attractive force on this electron. As a result of that, so this force on this, I am writing over here F bar. So F bar force, who is acting? This atom nucleus is acting on valency electron of this hydrogen atom, that is F bar. So as a result of that, this atom will be moving in this direction some S bar displacement. Then F bar into S bar gives work done. So this atom also doing some work here. So here also, according to fundamental laws of physics, it is also losing some energy over here. So in this manner, both atoms are losing here. So therefore, so here more energy is going to, after losing this this energy, this more energy will be converting into less energy. So in place of more energy, what is here? All the atoms are having more energy only. Suppose with example I am explaining this. This all the atoms are having 10 milli electron volts of energy. Okay, now 10 milli electron volts of energy, this hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, this is a just assumption I am considering. So this much 10 milli electron volts of energy these are possessing. So 10 milli electron volts of energy possessing means this I have given in the beginning itself more energy. So in place of more energy you write here this is 10 milli electron volts. Okay, more energy. Now during the combining process, these any two atoms are combining here. Why they are combining means since they have more energy. More energy means atoms are in continuously random motion. At a certain particular point of time, atoms are come close to each other like this. So during this interaction only, these atoms are losing some amount of energy. So suppose with this interaction, during this interaction, this nucleus is attracting this electron. So due with the help of this, it is acting some force on this. So whatever the force which is acting on this, as a result of that, it will be moving as per displacement I told you here. As a result of that, if at all this is losing, suppose 6 milli electron volts of energy lost by this atom. Here also I told you, suppose this is also 6 milli electron volts of energy lost by this. Then total energy in atomic form, how much I told you? 10. So 10 milli electron volts I told you. So 6 last means how much left over here? How much left over means here 4 milli electron volts. Here this is also having 4 milli electron volts. So therefore more energy becomes less energy. How much here? 4 milli electron volts. In the beginning, all the atoms had 10 milli electron volts. During the combining process, 6 milli electron volts of energy lost by each atom. Therefore, leftover energy became 4 milli electron volt. Here also, it acquired 4 milli electron volt. So therefore, this more energy, 10 milli electron volts, converts into less energy, that is 4 milli electron volt during the combining process. So in this manner, why atoms are combining means in order to lower their energy in order to get the more stability. So they are combining here. So this is the cause why atoms have to combine here. Now let us talk about its potential energy graph. Let us discuss it. Let us draw the graph between potential energy versus internuclear distance. Now see here whatever during the combining process of atoms, how they are losing energy. Now that can be explained with the help of potential energy graph. See here. Now this is 0 means it is like a origin. This is y-axis. Now this is x-axis. On x-axis you need to take here, this is internuclear axis or internuclear distance. This y-axis can be taken as potential energy U. Okay. Now what happens here? Atoms are, I told you here, atoms are having in their atomic form more energy. Due to more energy, all the atoms are in Brownian motion or random motion in the nature. Everywhere they are moving. So at a certain point of time, what happened here? Suppose here one atom is here hydrogen, here one more atom. So between these, no interaction. So no interaction means what happened here? Then potential energy between these becomes 0. Okay, these are possessing kinetic energy only, that is Ke max. Okay. Because why they are having Ke max means they are having in random motion continuously everywhere they are moving here. Since they have more energy means so they will be in continuous random motion. No interaction means potential energy becomes 0. At a certain particular point of time, what happen? These two atoms only approach close to each other like this. See here, approach close to each other. This valence electron is attracted by this another hydrogen atom nucleus. This hydrogen atom valence electron is attracted by this hydrogen atom nucleus. So as a result of that, we know that. So whenever attractive force is there, already we know that attractive force always decrease the energy of a system. Repulsive force increase the energy of a system. So due to interactions or due to attraction, the energy of this system what happen here decreases. So whenever these are coming close to each other, according to work energy theorem, total kinetic energy turns into potential energy. You might have learned in physics work energy theorem in work power energy chapter. So before they came into interaction, individually they are moving everywhere. That during the time they have only kinetic energy only, but whenever they are coming contact or they are come closer to each other, during the time this total kinetic energy gradually converts into potential energy. Whenever there is a no interaction, no potential energy, only kinetic energy they are possessing. Whenever they are interacting each other, the total kinetic energy converting into potential energy. Now see here, so this will be potential energy, it will be converting over here, but that too, so total during this interaction, total kinetic energy converted into potential energy, that's very fine. Right now what happened here, still again come closer to each other, still attraction increases. Still attraction increases means attractive forces are increases. Attractive forces are increases means energy of the system further decreases. How this energy of the system further decreases here? Let us see with the graph. See here. Now these will be interacting each other. Again further this much distance is here. Again further come closer to each other. So come closer to each other means again this nucleus, this electron attraction again increases. Attraction increases, energy again decreases. Again come closer to each other. Again coming closer to each other. Again coming closer to each other means again further what happened? Again because between unlike charges further these attractive forces again increases. Again attractive forces increases means energy of the system further what happened? Decreases here, because we have taken on the y-axis potential energy. So potential energy means this represents 0 means origin. So this is a origin means this downward part represents negative coordinate system or negative part of y-axis. This is the positive part of y-axis here. So on y-axis potential energy values we have taken means, so gradually this graph is coming downward means what does it mean here? Potential energy values on the y-axis, its projections you need to see here like this. If again it is coming over downward, again downward, this projection you see here. So its potential energy values gradually decreasing over here. If you are moving up, potential energy values increases. If you are moving downward, potential energy values gradually decreases here. So therefore, again, so first of all this much distance, again decreasing distance, again attraction increases, energy decreases. Therefore again coming, again distance decreases. So further gradually they are coming closer means every time how closely they are coming each other, every point of time their attractive force increases. Attractive force increases means every time its energy decreases. Now the minimum distance are at a particular point, this is called one minimum. So at this minimum what happened? Attractive force is equal repulsive force. Okay, means between both the hydrogen atom, this is one hydrogen atom, this is another hydrogen atom, they come closer to each other at a minimum distance or equilibrium distance from this nucleus and this nucleus, some particular fixed distance will be there. At a particular distance only, attractive force is exactly equal to repulsive force. Then only the bond will become stable. This molecule will become stable. That is called chemical bond. See here, how can we define? Where do we define the chemical bond? Means at equilibrium distance, attractive force is exactly equal to repulsive force. There only this whole entity will become stable. There only we will consider as bond has been formed here. Now tell me here one more thing. Again further at a particular equilibrium distance approached here. Further again we are coming closer to each other means again repulsive forces are dominating here. So at this distance, suppose, so this is equilibrium distance. Again suppose they are again coming closer again. So apart from this again coming closer means what happened? Again that time very close to coming closer each other means this nucleus repulsive forces are dominating, and this hydrogen atom electron, this hydrogen atom valency electron, both will be repelling each other. So repulsive forces are dominating. So repulsive forces are dominating means, as I have written here, as repulsive forces increases, energy also increases. Therefore this graph will be moving up, because on y-axis we have taken potential energy. The graph will be moving up here. At equilibrium distance this much only it should be actually, but again if you try to bring closer than equilibrium distance, then repulsive forces are dominating due to the nucleus interaction and electron interaction. So during that time repulsive forces are increases means energy of the system increases. This graph will be moving up like this. Okay, now this is the potential energy graph. But during this process, tell me here, which force is responsible to form the bond? If attractive force is greater than repulsive force, then only these both atoms are held together, or atoms are, whenever this attractive force is greater than repulsive force, then only atoms will be held together. If only repulsive force is there, attractive force is not there, here I have written both should be equal. Suppose if attractive force is not there, only repulsive force is there, then what happened here? Atoms are repelling each other. They try to move away very speedily. So they try to move away means repulsive force increases, energy of the system increases. They are moving away means they never combine. So therefore, which force will be the responsible factor to combine both the atoms together means attractive force is the responsible to form the bond here. Therefore, what is meant by chemical bond means the attractive force which holds both the atoms together to form a stable entity is called chemical bond. The chemical bond will be defined at exact equilibrium distance. There only electrostatic attractive force is equal electrostatic repulsive force. So this is the definition. If at all repulsive attractive forces are greater than repulsive force, that's okay. Just now I told you here, if repulsive forces are greater than attractive forces, they are moving away, they never combine. So this is regarding potential energy versus its internuclear distance. Now, my question is, does every attractive force become chemical bond? Means every attractive force may not become chemical bond. So in order to understand that, let us discuss about types of attractive forces. Types of attractive forces. Types of attractive forces. Every attractive force does not become chemical bond. Some certain range will be here. That let us describe right now. Point number 1, chemical bond. So chemical bond means the released energy should be greater than 42 kilojoule per mole will be here. Then only that bond is called chemical bond. Suppose Here this is one hydrogen atom. This is just now as I explained here another hydrogen atom. Here this is electron. This is electron. Due to this hydrogen atom, electron is attracted by this hydrogen atom nucleus. This atom electron is attracted by this atom nucleus. During this process, some amount of energy released. I told you this released energy must be, if at all, greater than 42 kilojoule per mole will be here. That is called chemical bond. This released energy should be greater than 42. So if at all this is less than, if at all this is less than 8 kilojoule per mole here, that is called van der Waals forces. Now see here, if released energy is greater than 42 kilojoule per mole, that attraction is called chemical bond, and if less than 8 kilojoule per mole will be there, that is called van der Waals forces. Now next one is the hydrogen bond or hydrogen bonding. So what is meant by hydrogen bond? Means the released energy, whatever the energy released here, this energy, released energy should be, its range should be between 8 to 42 kilojoule per mole will be here. So this is called hydrogen bonding or hydrogen bond. Now this is the classification we need to understand. Now in this, let us talk about chemical bonding, types of chemical bonds. Number one, first one, ionic bond. Ionic bond is also known as electrostatic bond or electrovalent bond. Second one, this is covalent bond. Covalent bond, again it is having two types, that is polar covalent bond, and next one dative bond. So in this dative bond, one more classification we will study about back bonding. One more we are going to study about back bonding. Now third one, metallic bond or metallic bonding. Metallic bond or metallic bonding. Now see here, van der Waals forces are also its classification. Let us see it now. First one, in this dipole attractive forces. These are also known as Keeson forces. Now second classification, see here, dipole and induced dipole. These are known as Debye forces. Third one, land and dispersion forces. Land and dispersion forces is also known as instantaneous dipoles. So this is regarding the overall classification of attractive forces. Now every attractive force does not become chemical bond, but depends on it. This total category depends on the bond energy or the released energy. So this is also known as bond energy or bond enthalpy. So this released energy, if at all greater than 42 kilojoule per mole is there, that is called chemical bond. If this released energy should be between 8 to 42 kilojoule per mole is there, that is called hydrogen bonding. If at all that released energy should be less than 8 kilojoule per mole is there, that is called van der Waals forces. Again, these will be classified as follows as I mentioned. So chemical bonds also, again basically these are three types are there, that is ionic bond, covalent bond, metallic bond. Again further, covalent bond will be classified into polar covalent bond and dative bond. It is also known as coordinate covalent bond. Now in this again one more classification, back bonding. So these are the different types of bondings. Now in the next class we will be continuing with ionic bond and the factors which are influencing ionic bonding and the properties of ionic bondings. Thank you.